I've been away for a couple weeks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody over here in Facebook and YouTube world. Welcome in Instagram world. I'm so excited. I'm back. I'm back. Um, Back in Costa Rica. I was in Cuba. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. I'm back in Costa Rica from Cuba, and it was an amazing trip to Cuba. But I'm back at Rythmia. And rythmia is really one of the reasons why we do this broadcast. So I want to acknowledge rythmia. I want to tell you that today's topic is about love everlasting, about a love that transcends time, space, and dimension, and that you are that love. I'm going to tell you an amazing story. Before I tell you about that story, I want to tell you about rythmia. I'm here at rythmia right now. I just had lunch. What amazing individuals come from all walks of life, all social economic classes, all different types of people from all over the world. And talking to individuals who, today is Thursday, so they've had 3 ceremonies. And, I'm teaching the integration classes this week. And, there were a lot of people yesterday that were like ready to leave, which is totally normal, right? I'm ready to leave. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm too tired, all that stuff. And we always coach them through. It's typical. It's called fight or flight. And when you're getting really close to a breakthrough in your life, you have this reaction, resistance, because it's something new and the ego can only protect you in what's known. So the ego is going to try and keep you from moving forward to this breakthrough. And that's one of the great things about Rythmia is we're here to help you. So I coached some people through, all of us did, not just me, but the whole staff, moving people through to get them. And I was talking to those people today and they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't leave. I got it last night. Oh my God. It's the whole world is different. I see and understand why I had been doing these things in my life. It's so clear. And now I see what's important in my life. I see that I'm loved. And also what they're telling me is I'm not tired. Yesterday they were exhausted. I'm too tired. I can't go. No. And today they're like, oh my God, I have so much energy, because it's not physical tiredness. It's spiritual tiredness. It's not physical sickness. It's spiritual sickness. So that's what goes on every week at Rythmia. Just a little taste. Now, I want to tell you a story about love everlasting. Love everlasting. Love, they say love is the most powerful force in the universe, and that the universe itself is made up of love and law, and math and love, math and sound and light, love and law, math and vibration. That's what they say, at least. Do some ayahuasca and you'll see that that's actually the case. Okay, so love being the foundation, the lodestone of life. The lodestone of life. Love is that which all of life is built upon. And we are here to be love. We're here to love each other and to love ourselves. So I want to tell you the story of love everlasting. We were in Cuba. I went with Agape, my spiritual center, Agape International Spiritual Center, under the direction of Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, my teacher, and teacher to so many. So Reverend Michael wasn't on this trip. We were with Reverend Cheryl, who's another one of my wonderful teachers. And we're in Cuba, and it was amazing. And on that trip, we were driving in a bus all over the country. We went to Camagüey and Espiritu Sanctus and Trinidad and Cienfuegos and finally Havana, and saw a lot of the countryside and a lot of the smaller towns and a lot of the history of Cuba. And the second part of this talk will be a little bit about Cuba, but I want to do more on Cuba. But this is about love everlasting. On our drive through the country, I was talking to Reverend Cheryl and just sharing with her. My mother came up. We were talking, somehow Mom came up, and I was sharing, she was wearing all yellow. And I said, I said, hi, Yellow Bird. And I told her that my mother used to call me Yellow Bird. I don't know why. But she said, good morning, Yellow Bird. And so Reverend Cheryl was Yellow Bird that day. And then I was sharing with her a little bit about my mother. And I had shared with her that to this day in my wallet, I keep a $2 bill. Let me just show you. To this day, I have a $2 bill in my wallet because when I was little, my mom gave me my first wallet. I think I was, 6 or 7 or 8, or I don't know. I had, a little something to put and she gave me a $2 bill and she said, "Here, honey, put that in your wallet." She loved interesting currency like $2 bills, Sacagawea coins, the Sacagawea commemorative dollar, a dollar coin, Sacagawea. There's, silver dollars she liked, 50-cent pieces, $2 bills, Susan B. Anthony coins, those kind of things she thought were cool. And she would give you like a little present, and instead of giving you $10, she'd give you 5 $2 bills or a roll of Sacagawea coins, wrapped in ribbon. And she'd always sign her cards, "Love Everlasting." Oh, I got to put this on chat over here. Okay. So I can see if anybody, all right. So I'm telling Reverend Cheryl about this and how she loved this type of currency. And that was about 3 days before we left, 3 or 4 days before we left. And so now, fast forward, I'm in the Havana airport, and we left Cuba the day that the power went out. Like, we flew out and the whole power grid dropped. And I want to talk about that. But let me tell you the story. So I'm in the Havana airport, and it's October 17th. It's the 10th anniversary of my mother's passing. And I had shared that with one of the people that was on the trip with me. I said, "Oh, today's my mom's, 10th heavenly birthday." And my friend said, "Oh, it's my brother's heavenly birthday as well." And we talked a little bit about our mother and my mother and her brother. And then I checked in and went through immigration. You're leaving Cuba, you go in through security and now into the waiting area, ready to board the plane to the terminal, and to the gate rather. And to get Wi-Fi, you need to purchase a Wi-Fi card. So I purchased a Wi-Fi card. I went to go buy a Wi-Fi card. I didn't have any Cuban pesos. I had a $20 bill, and I asked the lady at the little stand, as I just passed through security, if she had change, if she could make change. I just want $2, 2 hours, $1 an hour for Wi-Fi. Can you make change? She says yes. And so I give her the $20 bill, and she gives me a $10 bill and 4 $2 bills. Now, I just shared that my mom loved $2 bills. And hey, hi, Thomas. Good to see you. Oh, hey, great, thank you. Thomas says, hey, Thomas. So my mother, as I shared with you, loved $2 bills. And here I'm in Havana in the airport, and I get on the anniversary of her death, I get 4 $2 bills as change. Like, it would have been odd to get 4 $2 bills as change, or even a $2 bill as change in the United States. More or less 4 crisp $2 bills in Havana. So I'm like, hey, that's really odd. That's really rare. And then I get this rush of love, this energy of love, my goosebumps all over my body. I start to just cry. Like, I can feel my mother. I can feel my mother. And, so clearly, and just this intense vibrational frequency energy just pouring through my body. I'm sobbing, and I go off in a corner to a spot where there weren't too many people, and I'm just like, oh my God, and crying, and I feel my mother, and I'm just sort of close my eyes, and I start to receive these messages. It's like I was hearing her with my whole being, not with my ears, not with my eyes, but with all of it, with all senses. I was receiving this information, and she shared with me what I want to share with you today is, first of all, she said, this love that you're feeling right now is how I want you to love yourself. We must love ourselves that deeply This is the way God loves us. God not being some man in the sky or Santa Claus or something outside of us, a person, but a consciousness that is only love and law. And we were birthed out of this love. We were birthed from the very mind of the divine in love. We are love. All is love. I'm receiving this information. I'm in the Havana airport with these $2 bills in my hand, just sobbing. And I'm getting this like, you must love yourself like this. Love yourself this intensely. This is the love that God has for you. And you are God. Love yourself like this. This is love. And then never withhold love. Don't withhold love from anybody, not in your thoughts, words, or deeds. Do not withhold love. Give love freely. This is what I'm receiving this with these $2 bills in my hands, and I'm crying and I'm shaking. I'm feeling my mother, her love, yellow bird love energy, and not to let anyone tell you who you can or can't give love to, and not from a gay or straight or like I can love who I want. No, but like we are told to not give money to the homeless, or they might use it for drugs. Or if you feel called, give that money. Don't withhold anything that you don't withhold because you think they might use it for something. Don't withhold because someone told you don't do that. We are hearing that a lot in the streets of Cuba. Don't, if you give them money, there's going to be more people coming and you'll never get, don't do it. She said, don't let anyone tell you to withhold love from anybody. Love everybody. Love yourself. And freely give love and your thoughts and your words and your deeds to everybody. And don't let anybody don't let anybody tell you who to withhold love from. Don't let anybody tell you to withhold love from anybody. So I'm just like, oh my God, it's such a beautiful experience. Oh my God, I'm feeling this. And then in the airport, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I hear, go share this love. And I get up and I start hugging people in my group, right? The people that I went with. And you travel with somebody for 2 weeks and inevitably there's the people that get on your last nerve. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, I didn't get on anybody's nerve. Everybody loves me, but other people got on my nerves. I'm just saying. So, so the people that I, had all this judgment about, which is clearly projection, I went up and hugged first, and just like long hugs, and people were just melting into me, like just, oh, I love you. I just love you. Thank you. I love you. And people are like, what's going on? I love you. I love you. Loving people. And they're like, people are like, I want in on some of that. And I'm hugging everybody. So expanded. So this goes on for about an hour and a half, crying and the energy flooding my body. And then at about an hour and a half, I go, I'm thirsty. I want something to drink. So I had the $10 bill and the $2 bills. Well, you sure as shit, and I ain't getting rid of those $2 bills, right? So I got the $10 bill and I go to a different part of the airport and I ask for a bottle of water. And can you make change for the $10 bill? And the lady says, sure. She gives me a 5 and 2 ones and a Sacagawea coin. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A Sacagawea, right? Remember, my mother loves $2 bills and Sacagawea coins. And just in case, it could have been like, man, that's a little coincidence. It was your 10th anniversary of your mother's death, and you were in Cuba, and you got 4 $2 bills as change after you had just talked about your mother and it being her 10th anniversary of death. Maybe that's just coincidence. But just in case you wanted to be sure as shit, I'm going to send a Sacagawea coin. Like, who's giving out $2 bills and Sacagawea coins anywhere in the United States? You go to any store, you go to any airport and get change in $2 bills and Sacagawea coins in the US? No. But in Cuba? I mean, are you guys following me? Is this love is all we need? Okay. Yes. Ben, nice to see you, Benjamin. Is anybody like, I don't know, because I can't see your reactions, but to me, it's a miracle. Like, clear communication from the other side. My mom broke through. And just to make sure I knew, she dropped a Sacagawea coin on it. Okay. Come on. Too much. It's too much. So the message is love. Love yourself. See yourself. The eyes through which you see the world are the same eyes through which God sees you. God's eyes are too pure. Thank you guys for commenting. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God's eyes are too pure to perceive inequity. See yourself through God's eyes, for God's eyes are your eyes. You and God are one. You are God. God is you. One. Love yourself so with the intensity of the love of the divine, and share that love with everybody. Don't withhold it from anybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm seeing the comments over there. Share that love with everybody. Don't withhold love. And don't let anybody tell you to withhold love. Love freely. So I want to do more. I think this is a good place to stop, because the next sessions will be on lessons from Cuba, lessons from the journey to Cuba that reflect and reveal this notion of what it is to be loving. And we can apply that lesson not only to Cuba, but to the Middle East, to the Ukraine, to the Congo, to Sudan, to the streets of our cities. One of the greatest human tragedies is on the streets of many cities in the United States. And cities that don't have it, right? Like people, LA and all those Democrat cities. Well, the people that cleaned it up, the cities that cleaned it up, where do those people go? They're there. There's still people without housing. There's still people without food. There's still people looking for a place to lay their head, whether it's in Lebanon or Palestine, or in Israel, or in Los Angeles, or in Houston, or in New York, or in Miami. So let us love. Let's love. Be loving. In our thoughts, I can tell you, I might act loving, but in my head, there's a lot of bombs that I'm dropping on people. Judgmental. That's just a reflection of my own judgment for myself. So I'm working also to be loving in my thoughts, loving in my heart, so that when people walk this path with me, as Howard Thurman says, that love takes the chill out of the room that we share in our comings and goings. So I love you, and 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 I love me, and wishing you a beautiful day. Peace and choicest blessings. See you next week.